Hey everyone, Kerri Ho from thesongbirdtree.com and welcome to the very first live stream of 2021. I am absolutely so excited to be here. As I was preparing for this yesterday, I honestly felt this genuine sense of I can't wait. All right, we are at episode 34 of the live stream, how to set up for a great 2021. So I just want to welcome all of you who are here already live, and also welcome to those who will be watching later. So great to see you guys here. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Nat. So good to see you. Now, before we get onto today's content, I just need to tell you about something super exciting, a new thing that I am working on that I think you are absolutely going to love. All right. And that is my Master Your Mix 90-minute webinar. I am going to be holding a 90-minute webinar. So if many of you have joined me every single week on my live streams, if you've enjoyed that, that's a taster for what the webinar will be. But the webinar is just going to be heaps longer. It's going to be a full 90-minute webinar where I'm going to go through the secrets of mastering your mixed voice. What do I mean by that? I'll be teaching you how to sing with a voice that feels and sounds like one beautifully connected voice that's not two distinct registers that you feel like you can't control, or where you might feel like one of those registers is a little bit weaker than the other. This is the workshop for you where you are going to learn how to sing with a voice that is strong throughout your whole range, that you will be very, very proud of, and that will help you to stop cracking, flipping, and straining. Okay. So if you're interested in learning about mastering your mix, and if your mixed voice is one of your goals for 2021, to develop as a singer, then I encourage you, please click in the description box below. There's a link there, and go and find out more about this webinar and sign up today. I cannot wait to meet you. Remember, it's live and it's 90 minutes, and it will have also a live Q&A component to it as well. Now, spots are very, very limited because I don't want to have too many people on the webinar. Otherwise, I won't be able to really address people's questions. So if you are interested, please get in early and don't miss out, okay? So that's your Master Your Mix 90-minute webinar that I will be doing, and I'm so excited about that. All right, guys, let's get into today's content. So we are talking about how to set up for a great 2021. And you know what? Not just in your singing, but in life. Okay, who's excited? Tell me how everyone is going today. Hey, Sue, good to see you. Good to see you, Natalie. Hi, Michelle. Hey, Ethan. Thank you so much, Kent. I am very, very excited to be back. Hello, Dave. So good to see everyone. How exciting is this? All right, so let's talk about how to set up for a great 2021, because you know what? I really want to see us all really win this year, and so I am going to share some things that will hopefully really help to inspire and motivate you and give you some practical pointers, all right, in how to have a successful 2021. And we're talking about singing and in life, all right? Now, what I'd like you to do is grab a notebook or a piece of paper and a pen, okay? Or a crayon or a paintbrush, I don't care. But basically, I'm going to be getting you to write down some stuff, okay? So this is going to be a very interactive live stream today. We're going to really look at a few very practical things that will help you be successful. So please go and grab something that you can write on, and then we're going to get right into it, okay? Now, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to 2020, as in the year that has just passed, it was a tough year, okay? To say the least. The one thing that we have in solidarity across the globe is that we all had a somewhat tough year in 2020 because of this global pandemic. And I'm sure there are other millions of things that are happening in people's lives as well. And so before we look into 2021 and how to have a successful 2021, we actually need to do a little bit of looking back. So part one of how to set up for a great 21 is that we're going to look back. Now, we're not going to stay there for too long, but we're going to do what needs to be done at a soul level in order to help us let go of baggage and really be able to look forward with excitement and expectation for a great year ahead, okay? So now, so here's the thing that we know. There are two questions I'd like us to ask ourselves as we look back to help us, okay? The first question is, what do you need to let go of? Do you have any baggage that you have carried with you from the tough year of 2020 that you actually need to get let go of. I know for me, I actually found it really hard to motivate myself at the beginning of this year. And that's not me. Like, I'm usually really energetic and just so excited on the 1st of January every year, just really looking forward to the fantastic year that's ahead and, really excited by all the possibilities. But this year in 2021, I did not wake up on the 1st of January bounding out of bed, full of excitement, ready to go. In fact, I was really exhausted. I was really, really tired because 2020 was a very tough year for me and my family. And it actually really took its toll on me. I'm going to get a little bit vulnerable here, and I'm going to share with you what are the things that I needed to let go of in as it pertains to the toughness of 2020. And as I share, I hope that if you feel comfortable enough, you can share as well in the chat, or if not, just write it down on your notebook. What do you need to let go of? I need you to write it down. Okay, so for me, I'm going to just share a couple of things. All right, so during 2020, both of my parents got COVID, both of them. It was one of the most hardest things that I've had to deal with in my whole life. My mum was in hospital for 3 weeks fighting for her life. And even as I talk about it now, I sort of struggle to contain my emotion. She was fighting for her life. She couldn't breathe. It was really, really scary. And that's a memory that I need to let go of, And look, I do need to say my parents are okay now. Okay, they both recovered. They're fine and they're strong now. But during that time when it was going on, it was one of the most scariest things that I've had to deal with in my life. So that's one thing, the negative feelings of that, the fear of that, I need to actually let go of that. Okay, so that was one thing that I needed to sort of, I guess, examining myself and be able to let go of that baggage. All right. Another thing was that during last year, so my mum and dad got COVID, as I said. I had quite a few. I was actually struggling with quite a few health challenges myself. I actually had a really, really serious gut problem, and I would be often in huge abdominal pain. So what that means is that sometimes I would wake up in the morning and I would have no idea whether or not I would be able to show up for the live stream or for my students on any particular day. And many days I actually had to cancel last minute because I was feeling so sick. And that was like several months of uncertainty, getting tests and ruling things out with the doctors and all this stuff. I'm a lot better now. I just want to put that out there in case you're worried. I am a lot better now. I still have a ways to go to become 100% healthy in my gut, but I'm believing for healing and full restoration this year. But I was really struggling with my health last year and often had really dark days of just feeling depressed and just horrible, because I couldn't actually go about doing these things that I loved. And in the midst of a pandemic, that really wasn't helpful. Okay, so that's one thing I have to let go as well. One thing that I have to let go of. And then another thing that happened, and this was in our family, just really, really tough stuff. During the Christmas and holiday season, my sister, my dear sister, had a baby, and he's beautiful. But when he was born with a lung infection and difficulty breathing. So he was in intensive care for the whole holiday season for about 3 weeks. And gosh, that was so heart-wrenchingly hard. And, again, one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with in my life, And so for me, 2020 was just a really tough year. And I knew that I needed to actually let go of that, really let go of that in order for me to be able to move forward, right? So it's like, I talk about get grounded, take flight and sing. How am I going to take flight if I've got all this baggage on my shoulders, right? So I knew that I needed to somehow work through this and actually let this go, okay? So here's what I want to encourage you guys, right? Is there anything that you need to let go from the baggage of a very tough year in 2020 where the whole world went through a global pandemic, and I'm sure you've had other personal things going in your life as well? What is it that you need to let go? I want you to ask yourself that question, and whatever comes to your mind, don't judge it, don't criticize it. I want you to write that down in your notebook. If you're comfortable to share, feel free to share in the chat as well, as we'd all love to be able to support you. But of course, no pressure to share, because I know some of this can be very personal. So write it down. And in writing it down, that is like an expression of letting it go, because you're getting it out of your system and your mind and yourself and onto a piece of paper. Now, I also encourage coming up with some sort of a ritual that will actually help you to truly let go. So for me, all right, and this probably sounds a little bit woo woo, airy fairy, but this really, really helped me. Okay. So for me, right, I wrote it all down and I offered it up as a prayer to God to just surrender and say, Lord, take, cast all of my burdens to you. And then the other thing that I did was I met up with a friend and we literally wrote down what we needed to let go. And then we actually made a fire and we burnt it all up. I know that sounds a little bit kind of dramatic, but honestly, that action of actually putting these yucky things of 2020 into a fire and saying it's gone, consume it, done, it really helped me to let things go, right? Now, you might come up with another creative way of letting go. It could be that you write a song about it. It could be that you maybe just talk to a friend about it. It could be that you actually seek counseling, whatever it is, right? After you've written it down, think about what's one way that you can either symbolically or, in some way really let that baggage go. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, guys. Dave is saying that 2020 was, yep, I totally agree. It was so tough. Nat is saying, you need to let go of self-doubt and an abusive relationship, and thank you so much for sharing, guys. This is, I don't take it lightly that you guys are actually getting vulnerable. So that's the first thing I want you to think about. What do you need to let go? All right. Now we're going to go to a bit more of a positive spin now, because apart from letting go of the toughness of 2020, was there something that you were actually most grateful about last year? It's important for us to acknowledge that even amidst a global pandemic, even amidst a very, very, very tough year, that there was some silver lining, that there are some good things that have happened, and we want to be grateful about that too, right? I think that this is going to help to alleviate the heaviness of looking back about our baggage and actually helping us to move forward, okay? So what are you grateful? What are you most grateful for about last year? Could you please share in the chat? I would love to know, what were your silver linings, guys? For me, my work with singers absolutely flourished in 2020. So, apart from actually feeling sick a lot of the days and not being able to do it, but in terms of just people booking in for lessons, it actually increased. I had many bookings beyond what I expected, because I thought the global pandemic would actually make people unable to afford singing lessons, but it actually made me busier. People had more time. People were finally considering their hobbies and their passions and their creative endeavors. So I had a very busy year of coaching one-on-one students. I started the live stream, which I absolutely have so enjoyed doing. That's actually been a huge thing that I've been grateful for. And I even released a new program, How to Sing in Mixed Voice. So for me, work-wise was a very fruitful year, and I was very, very grateful. Another thing I'm very, very grateful for is my sister's baby. So I'm an auntie now. And, as I said, he's all fine now, and he's just healthy and growing, and absolutely the cutest thing on the planet. So I really, really am grateful, and I thank God for this beautiful addition to our family. Another thing I'm grateful for is my husband. He was the most incredible just person during 2020. What was such a tough year, he kept me grounded. He kept me laughing when things were, just threatening to be a little bit more about tears. And I just am so grateful for him. So what are you grateful for, Songbird? Could you please share in the chat and in the comments below? What were you most grateful for about last year? And then after we actually have processed through those two questions, what do we need to let go, and what are we most grateful for? Part 2 of setting up for a great 2021 is looking forward now. So we've looked back. All right, we don't want to look back for too long, but we've done that. It's still necessary soul work to do. Next is, let's look forward and let's actually examine what are some practices to help you win in 2021. Okay, so before we even think about what it is that we want for 2021, like a lot of the times we actually begin the year with that question, like, what do I want? What are my New Year's resolutions? What do I want to achieve? What kind of a year? I actually think that the important thing to start with is actually, how can I help myself be successful? So even before I think about what is it that I want and what I want to achieve, how can I actually keep myself with practices to keep me healthy emotionally, physically, on a soul level, to help me win whatever it is that I think the win is. And we're going to talk about the win in a second, okay? So let's talk about what this means. So, guys, one question to ask yourself: what's one small thing you can do regularly to nurture your soul? All right. I really want you to think about this question. One small thing that you can do regularly. Now, this could be as little as, when I get up in the morning, I'm not going to pick up my phone and scroll through social media. Instead, I'm going to take 10 deep breaths. That could be it. That could be it that you do. That is something that just centers you and nurtures your soul. Or it could be, going for a long walk in the evenings to wind down and to process through the day and to let go of the stresses of the day. It could be that one thing is that you might want to journal or pray or whatever. What is it? What is one small thing that you can do regularly to nurture your soul? All right, because the thing is, guys, as we go into 2021 and we pursue the things that are on our heart and we want to be successful in those things, we actually need to keep ourselves from an inside perspective really healthy. Because that is actually what's going to keep us going when the going gets tough, right? Or when we have self-doubt. When self-doubt comes in and we go, oh, nah, that was big, a big dream and I can't do it and all this stuff. This is what's going to ground you and help you be successful. It's the little things that we do regularly to keep our soul healthy that is actually going to keep you on course. It's going to keep you on course, it's going to keep you motivated, it's going to keep you inspired, it's going to keep you focused. All right. So, guys, does anybody here actually have a practice that you do regularly to nurture your soul that you would like to share with the community? Please do put it in the chat or in the comments below. For me, when I wake up in the morning, I love to make myself a cup of English breakfast tea with a little bit of milk. And then I go into my little corner. It's a little sort of study nook in my house upstairs. It's very quiet. It's very bright also. And I love natural lighting. And it's just a tiny little corner. And I actually spend time in prayer, reading my Bible, and also journaling, because I'm a person of faith. So that's what I do to nurture my soul. And I tell you what, I love that time. Like, that time is what I look forward to every single day. Just a few moments of solitude by myself, spending time just nurturing my soul, connecting with God and praying and reading the Bible, and journaling. So what do you do? So, Susan, you visit your garden. Exactly. And you're amazed by the beauty of nature. Absolutely. That's so good. There's just nothing like nature to remind you that all is well with the world. Hey, there's something about the beauty that really just, really nurtures our soul. If anybody else has any other ideas of things that you can do regularly for yourself to nurture your soul, please go ahead and share in the comments. So, Natalie, you do morning pages, which is, if you guys have not heard of Julia Cameron, she is a creative, a writer. And she's come up with this thing where it's a stream of consciousness writing, where you just write 3 pages every single day, and you just sort of empty your mind. Yeah, that's fantastic. And doing it outside in the front porch, surrounded by flowers and trees, sounds absolutely divine. Can't you write your daily blessings journal? That is so cool. So I love it that some of you already have really life-giving practices. Keep those up. And for others of you who've never done this before, maybe write down a few ideas of what for you is very life-giving, that just centers you, that makes you go, yep, this is going to be a great day. And I want you to start committing to doing that one small thing regularly, okay, to nurture your soul. The second question is, what's one small thing that you can do regularly to keep you physically strong? So now I'm talking about our bodies, right? Now that could be, I don't mean you need to go and do 60 minutes at the gym every day. It could be something really small. It could be that you get up and you stretch your body and just get rid of some tension. That could be it, or maybe it's that you actually do love to go to the gym and you do want to regularly go to the gym and do, a workout, whatever, each to their own. It doesn't matter. But what is one small thing that you can do regularly to keep you physically strong? Now, note that I've been saying small, all right? I haven't said what's one amazing, crazy, impressive thing. No, because we're talking about sustainability here. If you want to have a successful 2021, it's really great to start small and build on the momentum, okay? Because if you can achieve one small thing, that's going to lead you to achieve a bigger thing, or maybe two small things, right? And that's the momentum of which we will create in order for you to have a successful 2021. So what's one small thing that you can do regularly? For me, I just love walking. That's my favorite form of exercise. So every day I do get out and try and do like a half an hour walk just around my neighborhood, nowhere drastic, just around my neighborhood in the parks and the reserves. That also helps to calm my soul, but it is also really good for me physically, keeping my heart healthy and fit. So what is one small thing that you can do physically? And it could be that you just say, I want to have a green smoothie every day. So it doesn't have to be exercise. It could be what you eat. It could be what you don't eat. I don't know. Just what is one small thing that you can regularly do to keep yourself physically strong? Feel free to share in the comments and in the chat, and to write it down in your notebook, piece of paper. Okay. All right. Hey, Debbie, good to see you. Yes, better late than never. So we're talking about one small thing that you can do regularly to keep yourself strong. Bike riding, that is fantastic. Oh, your chain broke. That's hopefully you get that fixed soon. And Tony goes shopping and carries bags and walks on foot. Fantastic. And Natalie walks to do all of her errands to the local shop. That's fantastic. Okay. So there you go. That's the question that I'd like you to consider. So the first one was, what's one small thing you can do regularly to nurture your soul? What's one small thing you can do regularly to keep you physically strong? And the third thing is, who do you need more of in your life to keep you positive, strong, and healthy? You know what? Who we surround ourselves with is such an important thing to consider. And who you surround yourself with and spend time with is going to affect the success or not of your 2021. All right. So think about it. I just want you to think, who pops up straight into your mind right now? Who is a person that you need more of? Now, that could be a family member, that could be a friend, that could be a mentor, it could be someone who's not actually in your life yet that you would like to have in your life. For example, you might say, I need a vocal coach, or whatever. I don't know, like, who is it that you need more of in your life? For me, I've decided that I need to spend more time with my best girlfriends. I need to create more experiences of connection with my best girlfriends, where we go out and, I don't know, like have brunch together, do lunch at a winery, have Devonshire tea and scones. I don't know, but live music, that sort of thing. So I've decided that I want to be very purposeful and intentional about actually connecting with my best girlfriends, because they sharpen me. That's the thing. Like, iron sharpens iron. It's like when you spend time with positive, great, kind, gracious people, you become more positive, gracious, and kind, right? Am I right? So who do you need more of in your life? Please think about that and write that down, okay? Ethan, you said sleep earlier. That's a great thing to do for yourself, to keep yourself physically strong. I love it. All right, so there you go, guys. So far, what we've done is we've looked back, right? And we've talked about what do we need to let go about the toughness of 2020, and then to also consider what are we most grateful for. And now we've just talked about part 2, looking forward, practices to help you win. So one small thing that you can do regularly to nurture your soul. What's one small thing you can do regularly to keep you physically strong? And who do you need more of in your life to keep you positive, strong, and healthy? Now we're on to part 3. Looking forward, define the win. Okay, we need to know what's the win. Like, I need to know what's the win for me in order for me to say, yes, I've had a successful 2021. What is your win, right? That's my question for you today, Songbird. What's the win for you in 2021? Now, as it pertains to your singing, as well as it pertains to life. Okay, I want you to have a couple of minutes now to think about and just brainstorm and write some ideas down. What for you is the win? All right, you don't need to work it out perfectly now. You can take this away with you after and actually really consider this carefully and really define what your win is. Okay. For me, I'm going to share my win as it pertains to just life in general. For me, I've spent a lot of time thinking about this. And for me, my win for 2021 is connection. What do I mean by that? I mean that in order for me to look back on 2021 and know that I've had a successful year, I should be able to see that I have intentionally and purposefully connected with my loved ones, my family, my husband, my best girlfriends, my church friends, and great creatives and people and my students, that there was intentional and purposeful, real life, intimate connection. That's what I want for my 2021 in general. Okay. Now, what's the win for you? I would love for you to share, especially as it pertains to your singing goals. What is your win for 2021? If you don't know what this is, then there's no way that we can set you up for success, because we don't know what success looks like. So what is your win? Could you share in the chat? If you already know what that is, please do share with us in the chat. What's your win for 2021? And for me, in the point of view of my singing, for me, it's that I actually want to create opportunities to perform. So whether that's live streaming or actually out at an actual venue, because 2020 there was hardly any opportunity to perform, for obvious reasons. And this year, I want to be able to create some more of those opportunities. So for me, a win will be that I actually have gotten to perform live. Okay. What's your win? Is it that you want to master your Vic's voice? Is it that you want to be able to become a confident performer? Is it that you want to be able to, go to karaoke and just nail one song incredibly well? Like, what is your win? And I need you to write that down. You need to have that in the forefront of your mind. Once you know your win, then you need to decide on one action that you can take every day or week in order to win. All right? Because it's wishful thinking if all we do is just say, yeah, this is what I want, but then we don't do anything about it. Okay. So what we want to do is decide on one action that we can do regularly that will actually help us get to the win. Okay. So for me, it's really intentionally looking at my calendar and going, have I actually spent time connecting with my most loved ones, this week? And if I haven't, then I need to text someone, I need to ring someone, I need to make it happen, right? And as it pertains to my singing, am I actually working on a performance at the moment? And I am. I actually am. And so that's good. I know that there's something in the works. I'm taking action towards it. What about you? What's one action that you can do regularly, every day or every week or whatever it is, whatever is required for you to get to your win? Okay, so Matthias is sharing to start posting covers and original songs on YouTube. That's incredible, fantastic. I wish you all the best with that. So, what's one little action, Matthias, that you can start doing to actually make that happen? Please have a think about that and share if you would like to. Ethan, you'd love to sing Olivia Rodrigo's driver's license in the same key and tune and have everybody enjoy it. Great. So, what's one thing that you can do to actually help you win? Now, I've been corresponding with you over email, and I know you've already taken action on that. You're booking me for one-on-one coaching and singing lessons. Well done. All right. Now, Natalie is saying singing, vocal strength, and stamina is the win. Life to be balanced, stewarding energy wisely, and making sure there's space for creative and sacred. Fantastic. So what's one little thing, one action that you can take, Nat, that will help you to get to that win? So do you see what I'm trying to do, guys? Like you need to define the win, and then you need to decide on an actual action that you can take regularly to help you get to the win. And then the last thing is Nike. You just got to do it. Now, I know that sounds a little bit harsh, right? But you do. I mean, if you just sit on your bottom and you don't do anything, then nothing's going to happen. We're not going to have a great year. However, it's about taking those small actions. Remember, we talked about small at the beginning. When you take that small action and you do it successfully, that's going to give you the motivation to then take that action again and again and again and again. And then maybe that action becomes easy, and then you go, well, what's my next action? And then it becomes a little bigger. And before you know it, you've got this snowball effect of momentum, and you will be on your way to a successful 2021 and achieving your wins. Okay. Now, however, I do want to say, even though I'm saying here, just do it, I also want to tell you, be kind and gracious to yourself and start again when necessary, and again and again and again. Okay. Look, we're all human, guys. we're not going to be able to perfectly commit to the actions that we've decided to do. And it's not just because we're imperfect, it's also because life, things happen. You get sick, a loved one gets sick, work gets stressful. I don't know, a myriad of things can happen at any moment, and it can throw us off a bit. And you know what? That's okay. Be kind and gracious to yourself when that happens, and just start again. Just start again and again and again and again. All right. So rather than going into the year and expecting yourself to perfectly be committed to everything that you want to happen, right? And then when you fail at it, you then I can't do this anyway, and you just forsake it completely. I want you to actually accept the fact that there might be times when you aren't able to commit to the actions that you want to do. It's going to be the same for me. And instead of beating myself up for it, I'm going to decide in advance that I'm going to be gracious to myself, and I'm just going to start again. Just start again. All right. Pick up from where you left off, and again and again and again. All right. Rather than being defeated, right? We need to rise up again and again. We need to take flight and sing, people. All right. So there you go. They are my tips on how to set yourself up for a great 2021. Okay. I'm just going to summarize that real quick again for you. So, part one, we were, part one, we were looking back, and the way we look back healthily is that we examine what is it that we need to let go, and then find a ritual or a certain way in order to help us to actually physically let that go and emotionally let that go. What are you most grateful for, so that we can celebrate what happened last year as well, the silver linings. Part two, we're looking forward. We're looking at practices that keep us really healthy. So a small thing you can do regularly to nurture your soul, a small thing to do regularly to keep you physically strong. Who do you need more of in your life? Get them in your life. Part three, looking forward to find the win. So what's the win for you for 2021? Go away and really think about that. Write it down, commit, decide on one action that you can take every day or every week or, regularly to win, and then just do it, right? But when you can't do it, when there are times when life happens and, and you're not able to, be kind and gracious and start again. There you go, guys. That is my tips on how to set you up for success for 2021. How is everybody feeling? Yeah? Debbie's saying, if we survive COVID, we can survive anything. And I completely agree. Absolutely. Natalie, so good. Thanks for the reminder. Begin again and again. Exactly, right? Rather than feeling defeated. Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. I'm glad that it blessed you. All right. So, guys, any more thoughts? Do feel free to share in the chat. Now, don't go anywhere. I do have a couple more things to let you know about. I want to tell you about next week's live stream, and we'll go from there. So, next week, the live stream, we're getting back into vocal technique, and we are helping you master your mix. All right, it's at 6 p.m. on the 15th of Feb on Monday EST, which is 10 a.m. on Tuesday, 16th of Feb AEST. I really hope that I will see you there. The link is coming up in the description box. On the screen. You can click on it in the description box to actually set yourself a reminder so that you don't forget. All right. Now, I did tell you all about this at the beginning of the live stream, so just in case you missed it, I want to let you know I am doing something new. I am doing a Master Your Mix 90-minute live webinar. All right. The link is coming up on the description box. And you can just click on it to check out more about it. But basically, if you love my live streams, like if you're someone who's loved turning up live to be together in the room with songbirds from all around the globe to learn about vocal technique and to be encouraged, right? You are absolutely going to love this, because this is going to be like my live streams, but on steroids, right? It's going to be 90 minutes. I will be sharing with you my most effective secrets to help you master your mixed voice, so that you can sing in a beautifully connected voice that doesn't feel like two sort of separate registers that you can't control. I'm going to help you really, strengthen that part of your voice so that you have a voice that you can be proud of. And then there's going to be live Q&A. So if you show up live, you're going to be able to ask your questions and get them answered. Now, spots are limited because I don't want to have a too big a group. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get to all your questions. So make sure you don't miss out, all right? The link is below. Go and find out more about it. Hopefully you'll register, because I would love to meet you for this first ever webinar for 2021. It's going to be a really good one. You're going to love it. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to learn so much, and it's going to set yourself up for success, especially in your singing goals for 2021. All right. So make sure you go and check that out, guys. Now, for those of you who haven't actually gotten this yet, I do have a free mini course, How to Sing in Mixed Voice, that you can sign up and get as well. Also, the link is in the description box. All right. Again, guys, I am just so happy that you joined me today. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you next week. And remember, I am always believing in you. So, Songbird, why don't you get grounded, take flight, and sing? And if you need any more help, go and check out my website at thesongbirdtree.com. All right. Have the most amazing day, guys, and all the best for a successful, winning 2021.